Welcome to Nathan's Armory. I'm Nathan. So I want to talk a little bit about Piers Morgan. He has been on his talk show raving about firearm violence in the United States, and he always compares to the UK. And I went back and tried to look at the UK's murder rate and look at it before and after guns were taken away. And to be honest with you, there's not a whole lot of change. The UK had a murder rate of around 900 people. They took all the guns away. It jumped up to 1,000, and then 1,100, then 1,200. Then it dropped back down to 1,000 and 900, 800, and then 700. So it's on the decline now. They had guns. They took the guns away, and then it went back down. So again, you can't make much of their murder rate in the UK and try to, unless with more facts, because the guns seem to spike it and then it seemed to settle out. So I guess the argument would be, well, there was initial violence, but then it all evened out. And the guns, now that we've taken them away, there's 200 people less getting killed in the country per year now. So yay, we took all the guns away and there's 200 less people getting killed in the country. So good for UK. That's lovely. Again, what Piers Morgan's trying to imply, though, is the number of guns is directly influencing, and the type of guns is directly influencing the murder rate in the United States. So let's take a few countries and look at them, and these are ones people talk about all the time, and see what the murder rate is versus the guns. So in the United States, we have 89 guns for every 100 people. We have more guns than anyone else in the world per capita. Yay, we're number one. Go America. Our murder rate is 4.8 people per 100,000. Okay, so let's compare us to another country. So next down on the list, I'm going by number of guns, is Switzerland. They have 46 guns for every 100 people. And their murder rate is, oops, 0.7. That's one of the lowest murder rates in the world. How does a country that has half the guns America has have one of the lowest murder rates in the entire world? Well, I don't know the answer to that, but that's what is there. I know in Switzerland they almost have every able-bodied man do military service and keep a fully automatic weapon in their house for about 10 years, and then they go to semi-autos after that if they choose to, or they cannot have a gun in their house if they don't want to. So again, they have, just like Israel, they have a totally armed male population that's trained in the military. So maybe the military training keeps them from killing each other. Maybe that's what's going on. Except in my knowledge, military training, as in Piers Morgan's mind, well, I don't know. Let's just skip that. Who knows what he thinks? Who knows what I think? Whatever. Let's go on here. So next we'll go to Canada. Canada has 30 guns for every 100 people. They have a murder rate of 1.6. Okay, double Switzerland, few less guns. Okay, interesting. All right, now let's go to Mexico. Mexico has 15 guns for every 100 people. Mexico's murder rate is, get ready for this, 22.7 people for every 100,000. That's right, Mexico is killing tons and tons and tons and tons of people. Much more than almost any other country in the world outside of places like Colombia and places where mass genocides are going on. Mexico has a horribly high murder rate. And they actually have no civilian legal gun ownership. But these 15 guns for every 100 people, those are illegally obtained and illegally owned by the civilian population, which mostly isn't good civilian population, it's bad civilian population, i.e. the drug cartels have these guns. Okay, so gun control ain't working in Mexico because they got no control over their people or their government or any of that. So you can't even talk about it. They got a ban and they can't enforce it. They got guns coming in there from all sides, from outside the country, from AK-47s being shipped in from Russia, to stolen guns coming south of the border from the United States. They got a massive firearm problem, no control over it, no law able to control it there. I digress. Let me get back to UK. So Piers Morgan, in the UK, you have 7 guns for every 100 people, according to the statistics I found, which seems a little high considering you took all the guns away. But again, these guns may be owned. I believe in the UK you can have them kept down under lock and key at the gun range. So these guns are not in civilian hands. They are down at the gun range by their owners that they can pull out and shoot and then put up. So I don't consider that even gun ownership. That's like a gun rental. They don't even have access to them outside of the range. So we can just consider this, instead of 7 guns per 100, pretty much 0 guns per 100 that's legal to carry or keep in your home for self-defense. And in the UK, they got 1.2 people, so per 100,000 dying, being murdered. So what can we tell from this? So the UK is very close to Canada as far as the murder rate. Canada has a lot more guns than the UK does, but they're still fairly close, although the UK is lower. Switzerland has a lot more guns than the UK, but they have half the murder rate. Well, not quite half, but close. The murder rate. Mexico has less guns than most anyone except for the UK, and they have a huge murder rate, far exceeding all these others combined, added together. And the US has about 4.8, and we have the most guns of all. So what can we tell from this data? Nothing. Absolutely nothing, Piers Morgan. What we can tell from this data is that the number of guns a country lets their civilians own has nothing to do with the number of people actually killed in that country. You can look at all the data in all the countries all over the world, and you cannot find a direct correlation between lots of civilian gun ownership and lots of murder. You can find places that have equal amounts of civilian gun ownership and have a ton of murders, and you can find other places that have next to no murders. So, you know, beyond that, Piers, you know, you can say disarmament works, but it obviously doesn't. Places that are disarmed still have murder, and places that are fully armed have less murder, and places that aren't supposed to be armed, they have lots of murder. So there's just, none of this is correlating on any of this data. The number of guns does not equal the number of murders. If it did, the US would be the highest on this list. Switzerland wouldn't be the lowest, they'd be the second highest. Canada would be the third highest, not near the bottom. And Mexico would be second to the lowest, not number 1. And the UK would be next to 0, instead of the same as Canada that has 30 per 100 people. So again, the numbers don't match up, Piers. All right, so the number of guns a country has does not equal the number of murderers a country has. There is no direct correlation between the two. It is about the culture, and it is about illegal drug trafficking are the two #1 things that influence murderers. Either the profit from the drugs or the culture influencing them to become murderers, or a combination thereof of both are the direct influence. So, hope you enjoyed this video. As always, God bless America, long live the Republic, and just for you, Piers Morgan, God save the Queen.